Okay, so hello everybody and welcome to this quick video here. Those watching and viewing at a later time, please enjoy this video where we are introducing ITD Canada in Vancouver, Canada, and talking here with Jamak from ITT Canada. So it's a pleasure to introduce and get started and learn a little bit more about ITD Canada and ask a few key questions that I know a lot of agencies are asking these days. So why not to start off, Jamak, why don't you please just introduce yourself, your position, and tell us a little bit about the school.
Sure, James. First of all, thank you, and I'd like to thank Edvisor for giving us the opportunity to introduce the college, and also the agents that are watching this right now. I might know some of you guys personally, so it's awesome to be able to come through this platform. My name is Jamak Golshani. I'm the Vice President of ITD Canada. I've been around with the college for about 3 years, a little over 3 years right now. We've definitely gone through different variations of what the college looks like. College has been around for pretty much 20 years now. It was small, grew up kind of. A lot of our programs are IT programs, and we are in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And sort of tell us a little bit about what sets ITD apart a little bit from other schools locally.
Yeah, so I'm not, I don't do competition analysis, so I'm not sure what other schools do, but I can tell you what I love about our school. Our school is, we make students feel like family. They come in a lot of our students are international students. We know what it feels like to be an international student. Almost all of us are immigrants and have come through one way or another into the college. People who work there, from the founder of the college, he came here as an international student. I was certainly an international student, so our staff, our instructors, we know what it feels like to be an international student. We know what it feels like to be alone. We know what it feels like to have to go through challenges with English, challenges with money, trying to figure everything out. So I think we pride ourselves in creating that sense of family, whether it's on campus or now online, right? It doesn't matter. We have different ways of trying to bring everybody together so they don't feel alone. They don't feel that sense of pressure. So outside of obvious stuff like, providing education, proper education, providing the ability for them to enhance their language skills, we try to make them feel at home.
Yeah, I think that's something I noticed right away walking into the campus as well. Everybody seemed extremely comfortable, happy, big smiles, and all the staff were extremely welcoming and friendly. So I
Thank you.
think that's that for sure. Very nice. And talking a little bit about your main programs, what's sort of the programs that you see these days as being the most high in demand programs that students are interested in?
That's an awesome question, because we actually architect our programs based on the demand, right? So we have our business school that has a business administration and accounting program. We have hospitality management. It's BC, it's Vancouver, it's always in demand. I mean, if you kind of take out the situation with the pandemic right now, usually where tourism is the thing to do when you're in BC. We have our arts programs, which is graphic design and interior design, and then we have IT. Like our school started with IT, and our core competency now is IT. So we have a variety of IT programs, whether it's network administration, allowing people to go on and fix computers and network stuff, or it's programming, game development. We have a slew of IT programs that I'm more than happy to dive into each one of them individually, but it's probably not within the patience of the people watching this right now.
No, but I mean, looking at I think the trends in the economy as well, it seems like a lot of students are going towards that that
100%.
direction in terms of a career, right? So have you seen
100%. And
that increase?
yeah,
Yeah.
and BC is a technology hub in Canada, right? We're close to Seattle, with Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and California, right? So I personally spent 15 years of my life working in Silicon Valley, so I'm very familiar with the tech industry and how things work. And because of salaries, because of cost of living, a lot of those companies are attracted to the West Coast of Canada. So the people who go through, whether it's our graphic design program, honestly, or our IT, because our graphic design is also very much technology oriented, right? Like they learn how to use the software, but our students graduate and go work for game development companies as graphic designers or anything else. Like they do UI UX type stuff, which is again technology related. So yeah, the IT programs are very much in demand. And we have one of the things that I feel is special about our programs is we do that 1+1, right? So they do 1 year in school and then they go off 1 year and do co-op where they get paid, they get that Canadian experience. And what we found is a huge percentage of our students, when they come and see what Canada is like, they don't want to go back to their own country. They want to continue, they want to stay and be a productive member of the Canadian society. And this sort of co-op program allows the student to gain some Canadian experience, which is the fundamental thing that creates a challenge for them when they're trying to get a job and then their PR. And what we found is many times the employer, what we call the co-op host, extends their stay, gives them a letter of employment, gives them an offer letter, and then they can use BCPMP or other tools to stick around and continue to work here in Canada.
Amazing. And so I think you're totally right. Like Vancouver is, it's funny because they call it the Hollywood of the North, right? And I think they call it also like the Silicon Valley of the North.
It is, yeah.
So there's lots of opportunities for some big, exciting, different job roles, and many companies looking for new talent. I mean, it's one of the main places for even video, like
Video games,
video games, and even movies, right? So
movies, it's a huge industry, right? So it's definitely the place to be. Again, like I don't know when you're watching this video, right? And how we're recording this in December of 2020, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of, with vaccines and everything coming up. So things slow down as we all know, but inevitably they're going to pick back up. And when they do, it's these students that have been ready, that have been doing the work. And I'm sure we'll get into this a little bit more, but I think we've done we've come up with a pretty innovative way of letting students continue their education rather than sleep on it until when everybody's ready to get back on.
And so as a student, I think the co-op is extremely exciting, to get that experience and be able to continue on afterwards. Is that what most students of attending ITD look for?
Yes. So this is again targeted at agents and international students. The highest percent of population of people, that's what they want to do. We have specifically some Japanese students, for example, that come in, they do their 1 year and they go back to their country. They know exactly what their plan is like, and they go. But the students we have that come in from Asia, from like other places in Asia, we have South American students. Almost 100% of the time they come in, they're excited about co-op. We, at the orientation day, we start to give them the tools to start looking, to start to do the work, to network, to get to know these companies, because not only do they need to prepare for co-op, they also need to prepare and get a job, the 20 hours a week that they are allowed to do, so they can make some money and start to better their, everything. If people come in, get a job, a student comes in, gets a job 20 hours a week, and that job ends up converting into their co-op position down the line, that's the ideal situation, right? That's just perfect, because they transition very well into that and then get their PR. So we try to facilitate that. Now that doesn't work all the time, but that's sort of the goal from day one.
Yeah. And as a student coming into to say Vancouver, what are the services available generally for anybody really in Vancouver to make it easier to find those companies to work with, or what are some things that you guys might help with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way we looked at this challenge of finding of preparing students for work is very interesting. We went out and we started having conversations with the employers that we knew, and we asked them, what is the single most important asset that a student can have in order for you to hire you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a particular software? Is it something that we need to teach them? Project management, whatever it may be. And almost unanimously, they said communication skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the program, right? It didn't matter whether they're an artist or a design or a computer developer, programmer, right? So what we did was we brought in a program from Toastmasters International to help people with their communication and leadership skills. So that happens continuously throughout the time that they're with us. It's included in their program, right? And above and beyond that, what we do is we have employment preparation classes during that first year for them, right? So they learn how to write their resume. They learn that there's a necessity for a cover letter. They learn how to write that cover letter. They learn how to do networking, whether it's online or offline. So over the past several months, we've been focusing on teaching our students how to use LinkedIn effectively as a networking tool, right? So we give them all these tools, but the key is that idea of you teach a man how to fish versus you give him a fish, right? So we teach them how to go out and seek these things, how to find hidden job opportunities, how to apply, how to go through interviews, because we all know this isn't going to be the last time they're going to look for a position, right? So rather than handing them the position, we give them the skills to be able to find one, but they're never alone, right? We accept the responsibility of finding the co-op position for our students. That is our responsibility.
Wow.
But we do it with collaboration with the student. So if we have a student, and this has happened before, that they're not willing to cooperate, then they're not going to get a job. We'll encourage them to graduate without co-op. But that is very rare, right? Because you don't, yes, younger students are distracted more often, but we're educators. So we talk to them, we tell them this is your life, it's important, and then we get beyond that and we work together to make that happen.
I think, mentioning, I didn't actually know that, but I'm so happy to hear that, that you're, sort of introducing the students to sort of Toastmasters and other, places to build their communication skills, because communication, sometimes people forget how important that is in not only in a job situation, but also in daily life. And
Everywhere, yeah.
it's going to help them build that confidence, that communication that they need to be a great person and grow in their companies. It's not only about just having the language skills up to par. It's about, communication is a whole different world. So that's really impressive that's involved, and I'm happy to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I think distinguishes you guys. Now, okay, very good. Now, so let's talk a little bit about the current situation. So COVID. We've had a few webinars with Languages Canada for a lot of our agents to learn a little bit more about what's currently happening in the Canadian market.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, yeah, maybe you can give a quick overview of what the current situation is. Are students able to apply? Are they able to enter? And if so, how? Or if, they can start online with your programs.
Sure. So let's go back to March really quickly. We shut down the campus. I think we were one of the very first ones to shut it down. We didn't wait for the government to tell us to shut it down. We started seeing nervousness in our students when they were coming in, being kind of packed in with other people. So we shut it down. We went online. I think it took us maybe a day to go online. We use Zoom as a platform, and everybody is on there, but they're live classes and they're recorded at the same time as well. So we've been doing this since March, since mid-March. I think it was like March 22nd, 23rd, where was the first day where we shut it down and everybody was online. And So we've had practice now, right? We've been doing this for a while. We never stopped, right? There was never a point of time where we said we're not issuing LOAs anymore. We were not taking students anymore. Right away, we opened our doors. We wrote to the government. We got approval. We've always had approval to run our programs online. That's another thing with ITD, with our DLI. We've always had that opportunity to teach online, but our platform was never strong enough to be able to do that in this fashion that we're doing it. So we sped things up. We started accepting people to be online internationally. So we, pretty quickly after, so the term after that was April. At the beginning of April, from there we started accepting people online. And then we came up with some creative ways, because we could start to see what the problems are with people who wanted to apply, and now they don't know what to do, because there's so much uncertainty in this sort of space that we're in right now. A lot of these individuals are very young, and you can't expect them to make that kind of a financial and time commitment, right? So we try to make things easier for them. And so the situation right now where we're at is we're still 100% online. The campus is closed to students, right? Unless they need something where they make an appointment, they go in and deal with it. But we have increasingly more and more people who have the aspirations of coming to Canada and continuing their educations, but they have already started online, right? So the key thing to do here was to solve this challenge of, if somebody sitting in Rio or Sao Paulo, they're not going to be able to afford to pay the type of tuition that we're charging here while they're sitting there without having a job over here and earning dollars, right? So it was a challenge of trying to figure that out. And I think we have the offering that we have on the table right now for these guys is fantastic. I honestly, you would know this better. The agents would know this better. I don't think there's anybody else who's doing this right now, because what we've done internally is we've made our processes really lean to be able to offer this type of pricing, right? So maybe after the call you can tell me if somebody else is doing it better, but we'll see.
Got it. Yeah. No, well, I mean, this is perfect. I mean, I think that is one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about, to let the agencies know about what are those offers, and have
Okay.
are they updated on Edvisor
Yeah.
for people to find right away? And yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
let's
that.
jump in. Let's jump in. So our programs, our tuitions were very simple before as well, right? We had two tuitions for our 2-year programs for international students. It was either 20,700 for all of our programs, or for IT programs, it was $22,000 and $350 application fee, which already is competitive for a 2-year program. That's a pretty good deal, right? So what we had in place, because this was our 20th anniversary, 2020 happened to be our 20th anniversary, we had a scholarship that reduced the price substantially, right? It's something we wanted to do, something we've never done before. This is back in January when we, like the kind of this time last year, we were planning all this, right?
Yeah.
So we came up with this scholarship, which was basically, we said we're going to charge people $1,000 a month, right? So it made it for 1 year, it was $12,000 for 1 year, and then we added the tuition for the second year, which is marginal. It would have made it like almost 14,000 or something for the 2 year, right?
Wow.
Then the pandemic hit. We're like, oh, what are we gonna do? These guys are not gonna, like, this is bad. The situation is bad. So we thought, okay, we're gonna remove the conditions for the scholarship, because they were supposed to write a letter, like write an essay, and then they would do a video interview like this in order to qualify and be selected for the scholarship. So the first thing we did was we removed those conditions. We said anybody who applies will get this deal. We'll get, and we started calling it a grant, right? Then we said, okay, we need to make this even a better offer, because things are getting bad and people are suffering and everything, right? So we said the whole program would cost 12,350, and 350 being the application fee. right? So they're no longer paying anything for the second year. The second year tuition is entirely waived. They
Wow.
pay $350, and then there's that $12,000. I mean, like, based on that, we lowered the deposit to $1,000. The deposit used to be 1/3 of the tuition of the first year, which ends up being something like $6,000 or something, right? So now with $1,350, we were issuing LOAs to people, which is still what we're doing right now, right?
Amazing.
Then the issue that was presented to us is what I was just telling you about, is like people want to start online and they're going, well, listen, I'm sitting in Bogota. I'm not going to be able to pay $1,000 a month to you. I don't have that kind of money, right? So this was a big challenge for us to figure out, because we have to continue to operate. We have to continue to pay our instructors. So we made some changes internally, and the offering that we came up with, which I think is superb, and I'd love to get some feedback on, and is in place right now, is this. So they pay the $350. The applicant pays the $350 application fee. They paid the $1,000 deposit, and then they select a start date. The start date can be any time during 2021. Right. So we have 4 start dates: January, April, July, or October. They can pick any of them, right? The only catch, if you will, is they have to start on that start date, right? So regardless of the state of the pandemic, regardless of whether borders are open or not, regardless of whether they have a response from immigration or not, if they get rejected, that's a different story. But if they don't have a response yet, they are obliged to start online. They have to go to class online, and they will stay online until they come here or they receive something from immigration, right? A rejection letter from immigration. Now, here's the key. While they're online, they only pay $1,000 per term, right? So for each period of 3 months, they only pay $1,000. That first $1,000 that they paid as a deposit becomes the first installment for that first term. And then if they have to continue for term 2, they pay another $1,000, right? The natural question after that is, okay, what happens if the guy gets, a rejection letter after term 1? So the answer is, we will issue certificates for every single course that they've taken, official certificates, like Canadian certificates to them. So they basically get a certificate for every course that they've taken. It's a steal in terms of the money that they're paying to get those certificates. But I do understand, for some people that use study permits as a gateway to come to Canada, maybe it has less value if they're not able to get that study permit. If they want, they also have the option of finishing the program online, in which case it would cost them $4,000, the 4 terms, right? So that's pretty much it. That's the setup with payments and everything.
That's extremely informative. I think you covered all the remaining questions I really had in terms of,
awesome. There is one more thing. When the person does arrive in Canada, right, regardless of how long they've been online, we will then put them into the payment plan of $1,000 a month. So the tuition is paid incrementally. They don't have to pay all of it at the same time. And here's the key. They still will get 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. So when they come here, even if they spent 1 term online studying, they don't spend 3 terms as their first year. We still give them 1 + 1. That way they have the time to stretch out their courses a little bit, get comfortable, and they'll have the ability to stay in Canada for 2 years. So, I mean, I think it's really a win-win situation. I don't know what else we could have done.
That's extremely intuitive, I think, or not intuitive, sorry, innovative. Yeah, you guys did extremely well there, I think, and that's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so if any agencies watching this this video are interested to learn more or have any more questions about that, how do they contact?
Reach out to us, right? So through Edvisor, they can send us messages. They can put an application through. If you have the ability, you can post my WhatsApp number on there. They can connect with me, email, any means of communication that's available, we'll respond.
That's right. And your personal email, just verbally, would be?
It's my name
Mhm.
at itdcanada.ca. So, I don't know if you'll be
We'll
posting my name somewhere or something. We get,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's really, really great, Jamak. I'm so happy to have this call and overview of the programs and how you guys have adjusted to the current situation with COVID. And I think when agencies hear this and the opportunities and the programs that you guys are offering now, it's going to be very exciting for them. So to learn more. So for anybody watching, please, feel free to contact us at Edvisor if you want to get introduced personally to Jamak. Of course, you have we'll be providing the contact information as well, so you can just reach him directly. Um,
awesome. And I have a marketing background. So any agent that wants to do marketing with us, you want to do, Instagram Live, you want to do this type of thing, whatever you want to do, just let us know. I'm game. We'll jump on board and we'll get it done.
that's really powerful. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Jamak,
Thank you
thank you
so
so much
much for
for your
having me.
time. Absolutely.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
take care. Talk to you soon.